Saturn in Pisces. Hello, dear friends and lovers of astrology. I am Snezana Knezevic, professional astrologer ISAR C.A.P. I am from Serbia. I hope you like my stories and astrological forecasts that I will record for my YouTube channel. I have been actively engaged in astrology for over 20 years. I am also an astrology teacher and have my astrology school Astro Academy White Lion, which has been running for 4 years. In addition to astrology, I am also studying to become a Gestalt psychotherapist because, in my opinion, astrology and psychology are very connected and compatible. In March we will have 2 very important mundane events, and the first event took place on March 3rd when Saturn moved into the sign of Pisces. After a full 30 years, Saturn is again in this intuitive and sensitive sign. The transition of Saturn into the sign of Pisces is the most significant change in this week, but also in the whole year. We will have another significant event this month, which is the transit of Pluto into the sign of Aquarius on March 23rd. However, Pluto will return to the sign of Capricorn in June, and only next year will it finally leave the sign of Capricorn and move into Aquarius, where it will stay for the next 20 years. This is a big change, which we will all feel in some way. Each of us has a Pisces sign somewhere in our natal horoscope. That house, through which Saturn will now pass, will be under his watchful eye, and all things related to that house must be in the best order. Saturn checks the state of the house it passes through, and if the state of that house is good, we can receive a great reward from Saturn. If not, he will tear down the old structure and force us to build a new one. With his transition to the sign of Pisces, the fixed 4, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius will feel great relief. Now he will turn his gaze to people born under the sign of Pisces, and then to Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. These are mutable signs, which are much lighter and more adaptable than fixed signs. However, it is their pronounced changeability that will come under the scrutiny of Saturn. In the next 2.5 years, people born under these signs will have to become more responsible and stable. Pisces will especially feel this change. The best lesson that Saturn will bring to these people is that they should accept responsibility for their decisions and their life. To learn to respect the time and use it in the best way. Of all the signs, Pisces will experience the biggest change. As I wrote above, Saturn mostly acts through the house where it transits. In Pisces, Saturn will transit their first house for the next 2.5 years, which is extremely significant. The first house represents us personally, as well as our bodies. Pisces will become very serious and will get more obligations and responsibilities. There will be new plans and goals, but there is no giving up until they are achieved. For Pisces, this is a fundamental lesson, because people from this sign often give up when the going gets tough. They easily lose interest and withdraw into some imaginary world of their own. Now there will be no excuses and no excuses. As a rule, Saturn tends to slow us down and bring us back to the beginning if something goes wrong. Saturn is the lord of karma, and Pisces, as the 12th sign, also tells us about karma and the past life. And from here we see that strong connection between Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter. Traditional astrologers say that Saturn rejoices when it is in the 12th house. He knows all our secrets from past incarnations, so through karma, he only brings us what we used to do. Pisces, on the other hand, can convey great intuition and deep faith or strong phobias and fears of the unknown. Right now Saturn is going to bring it all to light. All that is at the bottom of our inner ocean will come to light. It is best for Pisces in the coming period to show even greater compassion and care for others. To maybe initiate some action and motivate other people to help someone. This is one way that Saturn will manifest itself for them. Someone else will be asked to keep his promise and his word to the end. To show great responsibility and discipline at work. If people born under the sign of Pisces accept this, they will have no problem. If they do not accept, they can have big problems in the form of health problems or problems with other people. Like it or not, Saturn will teach us what we don't know. He doesn't take much persuasion. So, dear Pisces, show yourself and the world around you that you have great talents and great knowledge and that you are ready to share it with others. For Aries, Saturn will pass through the 12th house, bringing them some important karmic stories. Aries have a chance to clear their karma. It takes courage and willingness to go in that direction. As these are brave and hardy people, I believe that it will not be difficult for them. Saturn is not much emphasized when it transits the 12th house, so Aries will not have much trouble. Taurus belongs to the fixed 4, which will feel relief from his transition to the sign of Pisces. Now Saturn will sextile their sun, and it's a much lighter story. People born under this sign will receive good support from an older person who is a true friend. Also, in the coming period, some old ideas will appear again, which could now be realized. He will also achieve success through work and career. Gemini will have the most changes in the field of work and career. A job change is possible. They will be asked to be more serious when it comes to working. Since Saturn is passing through their 10th house, problems with their parents are also possible. They are required to work hard and a lot, as well as take care of an elderly family member. Cancers belong to the happier group of people who will have a trine from Saturn. This trine can bring them stabilization in the family circle, as well as possible family expansion. Saturn goes through its 9th house, so many Cancers will have grandchildren. In addition, they may decide to stay abroad for a longer period. For example, you have a grandchild abroad and you are leaving for a while to help your children. For some Cancers, this Saturn will also bring a second marriage. In any case, Saturn will not trouble Cancers in the coming period. It will be easier for Leos now that there is no opposition to their Sunday. However, when Saturn transits the 8th house, as is the case here, it is not easy. The loss of an elderly person is possible. This is also the house of inheritance, so it is possible to raise that issue as well. Not to make things too dark, but as this is a house and an investment, it would be best if you paid some life insurance for yourself and your family members. In this way, you will fulfill his symbolism in this house. Virgos will have the most changes in the field of relationships and marriage. Saturn passes through their 7th house, so since it is an angular house, its passage is very pronounced here. If the marriage is not good, Saturn can intensify these problems and lead to divorce. However, since Saturn loves the 7th house, where it is naturally exalted if our relations are good, Saturn will not bring any problem here. On the contrary, many people get married just when Saturn is in their 7th house. Virgins should avoid any kind of judgment. Dear Virgo, see to it that you end all misunderstandings with others in a nice way. For Libras, Saturn will be passing through the 6th house, and this is a strong sign that they should pay attention to their health. They should pay attention to their daily routine. This is a good period to introduce a diet and change your diet. This is the time to throw out some bad habits and introduce new ones. Otherwise, if this is not done, Saturn can bring some chronic diseases. Scorpios can breathe a sigh of relief because now Saturn will form a trine with their Sunday singles born under this sign will find their karmic love. Many will get serious when it comes to emotional relationships. Also, their children will show more seriousness and responsibility. Sagittarius belongs to mutable signs, to whom Saturn will bring challenges through family and family life. As it will form a square with their Sun, they should take a little more care of their health in the coming period. Also, it may slow them down when it comes to travel. They will travel less and spend more time at home. Capricorns will have no problems with Saturn in the coming period. Their ruler of the sign will make a sextile with the Sun, which will bring them even stronger ambition and willingness to put their ideas into action. As Saturn passes through their 3rd house, it will bring them even more seriousness and practicality. Aquarians can finally breathe a sigh of relief as Saturn leaves their sign. Now it will be passing through their second house, and many Aquarians will get very serious when it comes to finances. Many will start saving more and investing their money wisely. In conclusion, I wish everyone that the lessons of Saturn are easy to learn and adopt. Good luck!